Thank you. Not so. Come on up. Get up here. Get up here. We do it.
Oh, I forgot I volunteered for that.
You did volunteer. Diane volunteered to check in with everybody. Fantastic conference. Bob, Honey, Dr. Honey should call him, and everybody else from yesterday. Fantastic. We just want to check in with you, see how you're doing. Would you mind we do that? Let's do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, then you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. Way to go, Dan. Now don't go anywhere.
Oh.
Diane said, I'm French Canadian, I don't know that song. She did a great job. Now, when I'm finished, Diane's going to get up and thank everybody that made this conference possible, but she's going to forget somebody because she's humble. She's going to forget herself. So, folks, if you took one little piece of insight, one little piece of courage, one little piece of hope away from this conference, please thank this woman now. Yeah. Great teams need leaders, and I'm glad we can recognize her. Now, like many of you, there was a time when I didn't applaud very loud for my circumstance or my situation. In the spring of 2005, I started noticing something funny going on with my hand, my right hand. I started having a hard time brushing my teeth, and I had a hard time writing my name. Now, fortunately, people don't pay attention when you sign a credit card anymore, so I just went shh, and no one even noticed. But I knew the difference. So I thought to myself, you know, that's odd. So I went to my family doctor in July of 2005, and I said, Doc, I'm having a hard time writing and hard time writing my name and hard time brushing my teeth. And he looked at me and said, you know, that's odd. He referred me to a guy named a neurologist. I never met a neurologist before, but I met him in October the 10th of 2005. I went in, I said, Doc, I'm having a hard time writing my name and brushing my teeth. And he said, you know what? That's odd. But he said, I think I know what it might be, or at least I think I know what your choices are. It's either Parkinson's or a brain tumor. Yeah, thank you very much. You get that choice before? You got ALS or Parkinson's. You got brain tumor, Parkinson's, whatever, right? So the old CAT scan in January 2006 revealed that my brain was mostly intact, except for the substantia nigra, which is a little bit weak on this side of my brain, therefore affects this side of my body. And I immediately went into what I call a state of sort of a shock, I guess. Shock and denial, and to be honest with you, a little bit of shame. Because I was a healthy young fella at the age 45. I've climbed mountains on 3 continents. I've run 2 marathons. I've kayaked, including the Queen Charlotte Islands in this gorgeous province of British Columbia. And I'm a pretty healthy guy. And I said to myself, with apologies to the folks in the room with gray hair, I said to myself, this is an old person disease. What the heck am I doing with it? 45 years old. For a year, I didn't tell anybody. For a year, I walked around being kind of bummed out. For a year, folks, I was in denial. And denial is not just a river in Egypt. Denial is a specific condition of not wanting to face your issues, face your challenges, face your concerns, face your fears, face whatever it is you need to face to get on with life, to move forward. In fact, in the context of today's conversation, to move forward. So I didn't tell anybody. Now, I actually told myself, in my little mind, I said, by the time I develop some symptoms, maybe I wasn't going to tell my mom and dad, because by the time I developed symptoms, maybe my mom and dad would have passed away and I wouldn't have to put her through the worry. And get this, I actually wrote a letter to Oprah. And I said in the letter, Oprah, you should do a show on sad bachelors, I was a bachelor at the time, bachelors with chronic disease that no one would love. You should do a show about that. And I said, I volunteer to be on your show. So I had a good case of what I call stinking thinking. I was having a pity party about myself, and I didn't want to tell anybody, I didn't want to reveal anything, and I had a pity party for about a year. Then I realized, you know, I'm a motivational speaker. I'm supposed to motivate people. And it's kind of hypocritical if I'm out there motivating other people and I'm not even motivating myself. So I thought I'm going to try to work on ways to develop my own skills, my own talents, and try to look at my own life and try to motivate it a little bit to get out of this black hole, this little slump that I'm in, this little stinking pity city thing that I was in. And I discovered 4 dimensions of living well. 4 areas of life that we can celebrate and boost and give more life to and just have some fun with it. So I'd like to share them with your permission now. Can I hear an oh yeah? Do you want to hear them? Oh yeah! Oh yeah, that's great. So they make sense. There's 4 of them. Here's one. Here's another one. Good job. Physical dimension of living well, the emotional level of living well, the spiritual level of living well, and the mental level. Now, the physical, I could talk about strength, exercise, training, and all that. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the body as a vibration. Because every cell in your body vibrates. Every single cell in your body vibrates. And whether you're vibrating like blah, blah, or whether you're vibrating like makes all the difference in your life, physically. Emotionally, I could talk about happy, sad, and mad. Because those are the only 3 emotions. There are no other feelings except happy, sad, and mad. Every other emotion is a subset of those, happy, sad, and mad. We're not going to talk about happy, sad, mad emotion. I'm going to talk about the juice of joy that we get when we are in right relationship with another human being. That's the emotional connection, that good feeling with another human being that we get along with. The mental one is quite simply choosing your perspective. What perspective do you want to have? What mindset do you want to have? Bob said it beautifully. What mindset do you want to have when you encounter anything in your life? And finally, spiritually, I could talk about church, mosque, synagogue, and temple. But I'm not a priest, a rabbi, or a Muslim imam. I'm just going to talk about that beautiful sense of connectedness to something greater than yourself, which I call a spiritual connection. So, let's look at them all as they come. Physically, let's look at the physical one. Here's a truth or a false question. It isn't the mountainhead that wears you out, but the grain of sand in your shoe. True or false? That's true, isn't it? It's not the big stuff. We can take on the big stuff. It's all those little things that sort of add up over time and give us nuisances and bothersome over time. So I want to give you a little test. You know, when we're stressed out, we produce the neuropeptide of cortisol, and that actually tightens up our body. And it tightens up our heads. Well, let me give you a little test. How many people, when you're stressed out, does cortisol go to your head? You get your head acres. How many people get headaches when they're stressed out? Show of hands. So headachers, okay. How many people are neckers? I'm sorry, that's a personal question. How many people get headaches and tension in their necks from cortisol and stress? Next, shoulder area, chest, stomach upsakes. There's a lot of different things to do. So one thing they found for sure was that when cortisol is in the body, the stress hormone of cortisol, it tightens up everything in your body. So this vibration, it needs to be dealt with because it's like this kind of vibration. So I want to share with you a little test. Now I know you've had a fantastic couple of days. You've learned a lot of amazing things, and I'm sure there's lots to share when you go home. You're looking forward to getting home. So you're probably feeling pretty good. But I have a little test that measures your optic nerve, the stress pressure on your optic nerve. It's a photograph of 2 dolphins, and they're jumping under the water, and they're the same dolphins, so they're identical. But what happens when the body's under stress is that the optic nerve gets kind of warped a little bit. So if you're stress-free, you'll see no changes between the dolphins. If you have just a little bit of stress, you'll see maybe 1 or 2 changes. If you have mildly stress, you'll see 2 or 3 changes. If you have maximum stress, you'll see 4 or more changes. And if you see 4, I'm not going to do show of hands, but if you see 4 or more, I'll write a letter to your family so you can stay here for another week. Okay, so I'm not going to do show of hands. I'll just see how you're doing. Check on the screen there for yourself. How you doing? Okay? I know you're probably feeling okay. It's been a good conference. It's probably okay. So don't worry about that. So stress impacts the body. You know, if it were so easy, folks, if we were all just glowworms, we could be in touch with the stress that impacts the body, that physical body that we have, that vibration of the body. We could be in touch with it if we were all glowworms. We could sing our little glowworm song. I'd like to sing a little glowworm song for you now. I wish I was a glowworm's never glum, because how can you be grumpy when the sun shines out your bum? We'll check in with Diane on a Monday morning. We have a look at her backside. Diane, you had a good weekend, man. You're glowing. You're really glowing. You're taking care of yourself, Diane. Good for you. And someone else you might meet, they're all burned out. Oh, baby, you better slow down. So the physical dimension of energy. I'd like you to pair up with somebody. I want to celebrate the physical body. I'm going to ask you to ask a question. You're already paired up, obviously. So just pair up with somebody. I'm going to ask them a question, the following question, and just listen to what they have to say. And then they'll have a turn to ask you the same question and listen to what they have to say. So just pair up with somebody if you'd be so kind. Find a partner that you can ask this question to. You got somebody there? Just a couple of minutes, nothing big. Are you ready? You're talking about something, I'm not sure what it is. Okay, here's the question. Celebration of the human body. What's your favorite body part and why? Oh, I'm sorry, on your body. On you. Okay, what's your favorite body part on you? 30 seconds, go ahead and have a chat. Okay. You shared your body parts. I mean, you shared your appreciation of your body parts. Now, if we had time, we'd go around and hear some of them. I'm sure there's some fascinating body parts out there. There are 2,000 body parts, by the way. Remember Lever 2000 soap, washing 2,000 body parts? Well, you can wash 2,000 body parts, so thank you for celebrating the body parts. I'd like to take the physical dimension of living well just a little bit further by sharing with you 3 things that I've found will help the vibration of whatever body part you just discussed. Okay, so what are those 3 things? They are as follows. Diet, exercise, and sleep. Now, I'm not an expert in diet. I know 3 things about diet, and this is my font of wisdom for diet. Very simple. Every meal you should have 5 colors, and brown's not a color. Red wine is good, especially from the Okanagan. And dark chocolate is magnificent. Thank you very much. That's all I know about diet. Sleep and exercise. Sleep. The great bard himself, Sir William Shakespeare, put it this way. Sleep that knits up the ravelled sleep of care. Death of each day's life. Sore labor's bath, balm of hurt minds. Great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast. We spend 26 years of our life, folks. That's 1/3 of our life, of the average Canadian lifespan. 1/3 of our life trying to get to sleep. Apparently we spend 3 months of our life looking for lost socks as well, but that doesn't count. But it's 26 years of our life for trying to get to sleep. So whatever you need to do to get to the good rest, please do so. Now, there's a handout for you that's going to be downloadable on the Parkinsons BC website. Please take that handout. It's full of goodies. All the stuff I'm talking about are activities and goodies and practical stuff, including, in this case, the 7 steps to wake up happy. 7 steps to wake up happy. Everything you need is in those 7 steps to wake up. So please go to the Parkinsons website, download all the stuff, look at review all the papers and all the other stuff. I want to share that with you for that. In fact, you know what? Let's just push the chairs aside and have a little nap. Why not? We'll be pre-dinner nap. It takes a minute to sink this one in. Move it or lose it. Now, this one, I've shown this slide for many, many years. I love the slide. It just says it so beautifully. I had Just Do It for a while, but I got sued by a sneaker company, so they wouldn't let me do that one. So just move it or lose it. And this is actually becoming more alive, because like Bob was saying, I too have a stiffness in my elbow, my right side like Bob, and I've got an incredible pain in my elbow joint. If I don't go to physio, if I don't stretch my arm, I'm in trouble. If I don't move it, I lose it, and I'm starting to lose it on my right side. So move it or lose it, folks. It's very critical. So the diet, exercise, and sleep. Now, I'm really quite lazy about exercise, so I want to share with you a thing that you can do in your chair to exercise and get the same benefits. It's called laughter. It's called laughter. You can actually laugh and get the same benefits. Did you hear the story about Norm Cousins? Norm Cousins is a famous person in the 1960s. He was diagnosed with an incurable condition. He was basically told he's going to die. He said, well, he said to his friends and family, I'm not going to die in a hospital. I'm going to go to a hotel room and have a little bit of a party. And I'm going to have fun with my friends, and I'm going to actually get as many Marx Brothers films that I can get, and I'm going to laugh myself to death, he said. So he started laughing, and he found out something really bizarre. He found out that after 10 minutes of authentic belly laugh, he could sleep pain-free. He was in excruciating pain. He could sleep pain-free for 2 hours. After 10 minutes of belly laugh, pain-free for 2 hours. That's phenomenal. The healing power of physical laughter. This is made famous by Dr. Patch Adams. You know about that. The physical act of laughter is really powerful because it does the same thing that exercise does. It creates endorphins in the body. The mind, the brain is a pharmacy. You know it's a pharmacy. We have a subscription shortage on dopamine right now, but the brain is a pharmacy, and you call up the brain to produce endorphins. So when you laugh, when you even fake laughing, you can actually fake laughing and tell the brain the same message to produce endorphins. Endorphins is the body's happy juice. The happy juice flushes out cortisol, the stress hormone. So when you laugh, you heard the expression, laugh till you leak? That's cortisol saying, bye-bye, I'm out of here. Enough of this endorphin, I'm gone. So I want to share with you the power of laughter and just have some little bit of fun with you on that. A couple years ago, I was flying back from Victoria to Calgary, one of the old puddle jumper, you know, those little planes. Those planes kind of drive me nuts because I'm 6'3" and the planes are 6 feet. But I got the last plane, and I was actually got a plane. I jumped a plane. Long story, but I was supposed to take a plane at 5:30. There was a plane at 3:30, so I took it. Last seat in the plane. I took the plane, and I got in the front row, row A1. I'm sitting like this with my knees up against the bulkhead. The lady beside me points out the obvious. She said, "Why don't you sit over in that chair? Because you can stretch your legs out." I said, "Sure, I'll do that." And so I talked to the stewardess. There's one stewardess on that little plane. I said, "Ma'am, do you mind if I sit in the other chair so I can put my legs out?" And she said, "Sure." No. I said, "Ma'am, do you mind if I sit over there to stretch my legs out?" And she looks at me and said, "I was going to sit there." I thought, oh boy, you're having a bad day. But the heck if I was going to sit from a flight to Victoria to Calgary. So I moved over there. She did a tray thing. She came back and she starts working on her statistics. And she's sitting there looking out the window. She's sitting right beside me. She's looking out the window going like this. And now, in any language, folks, that's a universal symbol for headache, right? And I said, "Ma'am, I've got something that will cure your headache." And she said, "No, it'll go away on its own." I reached into my pocket and I held out one of these. I said, "No, I really do. I have something that will cure your headache. It's a red foam clown nose." And she said, "Are you kidding?" I said, "Yes, I am kidding." That's the entire point of it. And I said, "If you put this on, it'll take your headache away." And she said to me, "I can't put this on. I have to be responsible." I said, "Sure you can. I'll hold up a book." So I held up a book like this, and she stuck the nose on. And she sat there for about 15, 20 seconds. And then she said, "It's gone. It's gone." And sure enough, the headache was gone because the silliness of the nose was enough to create enough endorphins to flush out the cortisol that was making her headache. Now, with the spirit of that in mind, and also for the fact that you folks are dressing lousy for Halloween, there's no one in the costume here. I've actually brought you some of these today so you can use them for your nose or for Halloween. Now, before you take them out of the bag, I want to share with you some of the things you can do with them. Use your imagination, of course. There's some things you can do with condos. One of them is really fun when you're in rush hour traffic. Someone's trying to cut you off. Put on a nose, beep the horn, wave, and they will let you in front of them every time. Every time. It's also great when you're trying to get to sleep because you know that monkey mind? You get that monkey mind on your shoulders. You didn't take it to the garbage. You got the little monkey mind of worry. But when you put this little nose on, the monkey goes, "Oh, that's nose, I'm out of here," and leaves. So you can fall asleep. And if you give one to your partner, you can use your imagination. So you take it from there. You know what? The funny thing about this is it even works if you're not feeling good and you just make yourself laugh. It actually works. Even if you're in traffic, you go, "Ha ha ha! Damn it! Ha ha ha!" It actually still works because the brain's getting the message. So, folks, on the brown bags on your table is a little gift from me to you for Halloween, for laughter, for lighter energy. Please take it home. Crack those little bags. I'll give you a couple minutes for that. Then we're going to do 2 exercises to reinforce the whole notion of lighting in the physical body. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Now, there should be a camera somewhere. We'll see about that. Now, just in the spirit of taking this a little bit further, I'm going to invite you to stand up. Just in a second. I'll give you the instructions first. I'm going to invite you to stand up. I'm going to invite you with your nose, if you're with or without your nose. I'm going to invite you to shake hands with at least 5 people. At least 5. And say this. Look them in the eye and say, if you're talking to a guy, say, hello, you glorious God. If you're talking to a gal, say, hello, you glorious goddess. Okay? Stand up and walk around and do that for a couple minutes. Okay, freeze. Stay where you are. Stay right there. Stay right there. Keep standing, but stay where you are. I want to teach you a little song. Stay where you are. The glorious gods are keep going over there. Oh, hugs. That's nice. Okay, hang on. Just to wrap up the physical thing. I'd like to teach you a little song. Glorious gods and goddesses. Wait, listen up. Okay, don't go anywhere. Stay where you are. I want to teach you a little song. It's a call and response thing. I'll sing the first line, you sing it back to me. It reinforces the notion that the physical body is a bunch of cells. We have to take care of the cells to take care of the body. It's really powerful stuff, really important to do that. I want to teach you a song to bring that home, to remind you to do that, okay? It goes something like this. You'll recognize the tune if you have kids. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is well. Feels so good. Feels so good. Feels so swell. Feels so swell. Repeat all that, what I just said, but don't sing with the instructions that I just told you. Now, we can sing the song, but let's add a little fun. Let's add a little finger massage. Let's add a little finger massage. It goes like this, a little something like this. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Feels so good. Feels so swell. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Before you go back to your seat, I want you to give a high five, ha 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 ha, to somebody and go back to your seat. Ha ha ha. Moving forward physically, living well, moving forward physically living well is to lighten up. We've got a hard weight to carry, folks. No sense in sending it with a heavy heart. So lighten up wherever you can, whenever it's possible. Find the funny, find the silly, be positive, and lighten up. The next dimension of living well, the emotional dimension. I want to share with you 2 words that I love. I had the good fortune to travel to 26 countries in my lifetime, and I traveled to the countries of Nepal and India and the Far East like that. And they have a wonderful greeting over there. And this little guy that I met on the trail is actually a little guy that was by a school. We were walking by this little school on the trail to up the mountains, and the kids came out during the playground, and they greeted us with the Nepali greeting. The Nepali greeting is this: they put their hands together. It would look like they're praying, but they're not. They're Hindus. They put their hands together and they bow and they say Namaste. Namaste. And Namaste means, loosely translated in English, means the light in me honors the light that's within you. Isn't that a beautiful way to say to somebody? I like your light. I like the light of who you are, and my light honors your light, and we connect on that level. So what a beautiful way to say hi to somebody is Namaste. The other word that I'd like to share with you is got to do with our caregivers, our care partners, because they too need to energize. They too need to live well. It's called Ubuntu. That's the word that's on the screen, Ubuntu. It's a sub-Saharan African word, and it means, translated into English, it means I am because we are. I am because we are. What a beautiful sentiment for a care partner or a health professional or the professionals that are part of the BC's Parkinsons Society. I am because we are, Ubuntu. So that's the emotional connection, celebrating that emotional world, that driving juice and meaning and life from other people, and celebrating life and its infinite possibilities for love. Celebrating life and its infinite possibilities for love with other people. Now the truth is, folks, I don't know about you, but sometimes you encounter people in your life that get under your skin. And sometimes it's hard to be around them. So it's hard to see them as a person, to see the person as a person, where they count the same as you. Sometimes they become obstacles or objects or nuisances or pains in the somewhere else. So when that happens, there's a calling. There's a calling to try to find the humanity. I want to share with you a little story that kind of brings that home. I have the good fortune to work in Northern Ireland with some of the post-trouble folks over there, community building leaders and stuff. And I was rushing to the airport to get back to catch a flight from Belfast to Heathrow back to Halifax. And I was running late. You ever have a really important appointment, you get all the red lights? Well, I got all the red lights, but I got the red lights of my favorite spot in the airport of all. It's a security checkpoint. And I got the cold molasses gal of cold molasses gals. I get in there, put my bag on the thing, and I'm trying to rush through and get to catch my flight. It's going to be leaving in a couple minutes. My little bag slides through, and all of a sudden it goes back in again. I thought to myself, uh-oh. And then I got that 5 words that no one in a hurry wants to hear. Is this your bag, sir? I've never seen that bag in my life. I had no idea. And so, of course, it was. And she says, can I have your boarding pass, please? I give her my boarding pass. She puts on these rubber gloves and she's checking my bag, like meticulously checking this bag, right? And I'm going ballistic on the inside. Because if you show it, what do? They slow down. So on the outside, I'm going like this. On the inside, I'm going, would you hurry up? We're going to be late. On the outside. And don't I get the full meal deal? The full meal deal at the security checkpoint is the sniff test. I'm not sure what the technical term for it. It's a sniff test. So she changes her gloves, and it was like she was going to a wedding. She wanted to get the right gloves on. Changes her gloves, puts the sniffy thing down, takes a little swab, puts the thing in the machine, steps back, waiting for the results. I am berserk. This person is my difficult person of the day. She's driving me nuts. She's under my skin. She's going to be the cause of all my misery for the next 5 hours while I'm trying to get another flight back to Halifax. My difficult person. She is not a person to me. She's become a thing, an object, an obstacle, a barrier to my progress. Out of the corner of my eye, on her vest, I saw a little pink pin, a little pink ribbon pin. I thought to myself, I wonder if she has it. I wonder if someone she knows has it. I wonder if her daughter or sister or mother has been experiencing breast cancer. Then I thought to myself, my gosh, I just was talking to my friend Karen, who was just diagnosed recently with it, and she's going through quite a struggle with that because it's a very serious disease. And in this time it took me to identify that, the wall of mistrust and nastiness and the difficult person just dissolved. And I actually saw her as a person doing a good job. It just dissolved. I saw her as a person again, a person that we shared something in common with. Person as a person. And when she passed me back my boarding pass, I looked in the eye and I said, ma'am, I want to thank you. I was sincere about this. I actually felt gratitude for it because I had a little connection with her. So, ma'am, I want to thank you for how you so carefully checked our bags so we could fly safely in the skies today. She took a little step back and says, "Oi, we don't get many people saying that." Now, 5 minutes earlier, I would have said, "I bet you don't, lady." But at that precious moment, there was a golden connection of joy between two human beings. I went and caught my flight and got home. So I got a question for you. Is there anybody that you